The collapse of a coup means Burundi's president is still in power and still on the ballot for the next month's election. President Pierre Nkurunziza is back in the country, making his first public appearance since returning from Tanzania. That's where he was when military leaders tried to take over. Now they're under arrest. The country has been in an uproar for weeks since the president announced he would run for a third term. Opponents say the Constitution doesn't allow it. He counters that back in 2005, he was appointed, not elected, so the first term doesn't count. Well, Arise News correspondent Deji Badmus joins us on the phone from Lagos, Nigeria, where we are seeing a peaceful transition of power, thank goodness. Deji, of course, welcome to the show. What is the source of the trouble in Burundi?
Well, basically, the source of the trouble is that President Pierre Nkurunziza has, decided to run for a third term. The constitution of the country actually provides that the office of the president, that no one should, that the tenure of the president should not exceed 2 terms of 5 years. Now, President Nkurunziza has done 2 terms, and as you said in your intro, according to him now, his first term was that he was not properly elected by the people, that he was only appointed by Parliament, and that he felt that it wasn't the right for him not to run again for a third term because, if he was running for a third term, it would be by a popular election. But then the question is, look, if this man was elected by Parliament during his first term, the fact is that the Parliament represents the people. And that has been the argument of the opposition. So it really doesn't matter whether he was elected by Parliament or through a direct election. The fact is that he has done 5 years, he's done 10 years, that's 2 terms of 5 years age, and that it's time for him to go. But obviously, the constitutional court in the country has actually approved and said, look, that they've agreed with him to say he's actually qualified to run for a third term. So that's actually the source of the trouble. And of course, the African Union has asked him to, to respect the agreement that was signed in 2005 after the end of the civil war in that country.
Right.
Unfortunately, he's not respecting that agreement, and he's bent on running for a third term, and that election is coming up in June. So we just wait and see what happens. And if his troubles are all over now, and if he would actually run for a third term in June.
Yeah, I tell you, it's a very poor country. I was just wondering whether or not a different leader could make a difference. But I want to move on here right now. I want to cover the latest from Nigeria. Buhari meeting with the leader of Chad regarding the terrorist group Boko Haram. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the president of Chad actually came to the country to meet with President Goodluck Jonathan. After meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan, he had another session with President-elect Buhari, and both leaders committing to working together to flush out Boko Haram and end the insurgency here in Nigeria. And of course, before he met with President-elect Buhari, the Chadian president now, Idris Deby, had made a controversial comment saying that Nigerian troops were not working in contact with Chadian troops on the field, that if there had been better cooperation, that Boko Haram would probably have been history by now. Of course, the Nigerian government has not responded to that, but Buhari, of course, is pledged to cooperate with the Chadian government and to ensure that the troops of both countries now work together and carry out joint operations to flush out Boko Haram and to end the insurgency.
All right, Deji Badmus live from Lagos. Thank you, Deji, for that report.